Okay, y'all. Whew. I know it's been a long time since y'all seen me. I know I haven't made a video in some months. Yeah, I'm sweating. I know. I just got done rucking, and so it led me to come up with a video because I know me, when I was in basic training, I struggle with rucking. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna come up with a video saying how I got better at rucking. Okay? But y'all like my fan? One of my sponsors sent it. But yeah. I've been gone for a while. I've been really busy. I'm not gonna lie, I've been so busy and lazy, to be honest. I just didn't want to come out with some videos where they basically were just videos to add videos to my channel, if y'all know what I mean. I wanted to come out with a video that I actually would watch myself and that I enjoyed. So months later, maybe a year, I don't know, I have to check my last video, here I am. Also, I'm gonna come out with a bunch of, I have 2 other videos. Actually, I have a lot of videos in my mind that I'm gonna be coming up with, but they're probably not gonna be all hit in one day, or not one day, one time, because I'm deployed right now and I'm gonna need my friends and family back home to film some of the videos. So, lo and behold, here I am filming one of them. But yeah, so let's talk about how to get better at rucking. I'm gonna try to keep this video short because I know that when I watch long videos, I kind of lose focus. So I usually start clicking around until they say something interesting. But I mean, if this applies to you, then you're gonna watch it because you're gonna be like, oh man, this is something I struggle with. I want to get better at rucking. So, but I guess I can start with my backstory. When I was in basic training and I rucked for the first time in basic, when we were rucking to FTXs and ranges and stuff, I struggled with it because, for one, I was in 4th platoon, which, if you don't know, when you're rucking, you're lined up by platoons, 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, which is supposed to go by height, but anyways, common space. So I was in 4th platoon, and then they lined us up by height, which was shortest to tallest, which is what they're supposed to do, but they didn't do that. And when you know, if you're in the last platoon and you're rucking in a company formation or even in a platoon formation, you're gonna have that Slinky Effect where the people in the front are going entirely fast, and then they slow down and they're going entirely fast. So then you have the Slinky Effect where people are slowing down because they can't keep up, and then you either have to go around them, or people won't let you go around them, so then you have to catch up, it's just a Slinky Effect. Just realize how a Slinky is, and then that's how the formation is. It's like boop, 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 if you know what I mean, right? Okay, so I had the problem of rucking, and I remember our first FTX, actually we had 3 FTXs. I don't remember which one is the one that, boom, realization popped in. But, I lost my train of thought. What was I saying? Right, rucking. Formation, Slinky. So I had the realization in one of my rucks that I realized that I slowed down a lot, and I wasn't good at keeping up or getting a good stride, and I'd always look down at the ground when I'm rucking, which makes things a whole heck of a lot worse. Like, it really makes things worse. So I realized when I was rucking, and for me, because I'm a Christian, so when I was rucking, I had to force myself not to look at the ground, and I started just looking at the stars, because I don't know if y'all seen the stars. If you did basic training in Fort Leonard Wood, you know how beautiful the nights look. So I looked at the stars, and I was just singing my good godly songs and praying so that I wouldn't look at the ground, because that slows me down. So, right? So I realized, number one, don't look at the ground. And then number two, in basic training, I only learned 2 things in basic training in AIT on what to do when I'm rucking. But number one, don't look at the ground. So when I stopped looking at the ground, I realized, wow, like I'm actually keeping up a lot better than I usually do, because when you look at the ground, you just discourage yourself and
you're just like, man, I can't keep up. I can't keep up because like it's hard waking up. It's still being freaking slow, like.
So, right, stop looking at the ground, and it helped me with my speed and my stride. Number two is I tried to force my way to the front of the formation, which is kind of hard to do when they line you up by height, but sometimes you can either walk, when the ruck starts, you can like skip ahead and like, you know, force your way to the front, which some people are gonna be like, well, you're only as fast as your slowest person, and you have to ruck at the platoon. But when you're sitting there and they're telling you that if you don't pass this ruck, you're not gonna graduate, I'm sorry, Shelby, I'm sorry, Sheila, Karen, freaking Ronaldo, but for one, don't touch my ruck while I'm rucking. Try Jesus, not me, 'cause I throw hands. Yeah, because by you touching my ruck, you're slowing me down and you're putting all your energy on me. And so now I have to drag myself and I have to drag you. One, unfair. And number two, I'm sorry, but if you can't pass this ruck, then maybe, I mean, I don't want to say that it's not my problem, but I mean, we could get better together in practice, but hey, at the end of the day, you're responsible for your actions. So anyways, common space, I started getting in the front of the formation, because when you're in the front of the formation, it's so much easier to ruck. You don't have to deal with the Slinky Effect, and it feels like you're going slower, even though you're going at the same pace the whole platoon or company is going at. Okay, so fast forward to me getting to my first duty station, which is Fort Drum, I'm still at Fort Drum. And when I got to my platoon, I realized that we were doing run rucks, which is basically, or fast rucks, which is basically you're in your PTs and your boots. You have your ruck and you're running or walking, whichever one, but you have to get it done in a certain amount of time. It's a fast ruck. So I started running. Well, the first ruck we had, I remember when we were doing our 12-miler, I had to figure out a way that I could get a good stride and keep up with everybody else. And your stride is gonna vary depending on your height. So somebody that's 6 foot, right, and I'm 5 foot, their stride, when they take a stride, they're gonna end up at a distance further than I am because my stride is shorter. And then that goes into pace also. So somebody that's taller than me has a faster pace than me because my stride is shorter. Unless I do double what they're doing, which means I'm using double energy and what they're using because of the height difference. But anyways, common space, I had to figure out a way to get a good stride and not have to deal with the shin pain. So I don't know why, but one day when we were doing our 12-miler, it just clicked for me that, like, I'm a female. I gotta use my hips to my advantage, even though I don't have hips. Like, I'm straight down. I know it doesn't look like it, but I promise you I'm a box. Anyways, I had to realize and use my hips to my advantage. So when I'm walking, instead of just like, I don't know how to explain it. Instead of just walking like this, imagine my arms and my legs. Instead of just walking like this, I'm walking like I'm engaging my hips with me to gather more distance and to disengage my shins from being used, if you know what I mean, right? So, you know, number one, stop looking at the ground. Number two, I started rucking in the front. And number three, I got a better stride, right? So, and then I remember when we do PT, we do run rucks, fast rucks, right? So I remember my whole platoon, and I realized that we didn't have to walk the whole time during these fast rucks. Like, we could run if we wanted to. So say I'm doing 3 miles, right? I'm rucking 3 miles, fast rucking 3 miles. And the way that I do it is I have to pace myself, I have to use my stride, and I have to kind of calculate it to a way that I can get an efficient time. So, right, I'd run half a mile, right? When we start, you know, they say go, I run half a mile, and then I stop running, and then I go by light poles. So then I run 3 light poles, I walk 1. I run 3 light poles, I walk 1. I run 3 light poles, and I walk 1. And I do that until I finish, or sometimes when I get to the end and I know I'm almost there and I know I have like 4 light poles left, then I'm just gonna freaking full send sprint the rest of the light poles. So yeah, me calculating it on how an efficient way I can get through this ruck with running and walking, but not being slow and not cutting down my time, was going by light poles. And for me, that worked. You could go by landmarks, you can go by marks on the ground, you could go by a watch if you have a fancy watch, but I'm broke. I'm not broke, but I act broke so I can keep money. So yeah, that's what I did. So if you have struggles with rucking, you just gotta, you know, not let your mind get to you. You just gotta think of other things. Like, I'm telling you, looking down on the ground was the biggest one though, because as soon as you start looking at the ground, you know, you discourage yourself. And another thing is, I don't worry about the people around me when I ruck, right? I think of it as we're all running our own individual races, right? I'm running my own race, they're running their own race. Because when you start worrying about other people, you don't realize that you're tiring yourself out. You're exerting all of your energy. So then when you're focused back on your race, then you're tired out. So don't look behind you. Don't look to the side of you. Don't worry about the person in front of you. If you worry about the race in front of you, if you worry about your own race, you'll end up passing them up and you don't even realize it. So yeah, those are my tips. Don't look at the ground. What's the second one? Don't look at the ground. Try to move to the front of the formation. Find your stride and pace. And ruck by, find a strategy to ruck, whether it be landmarks, light poles, something on the ground, just anything. So that's all I got today. This video is already elongated. It's like 13 minutes. So if you want, you can watch it in 2 times, but I'll be posting another video. So I'll see y'all on the flippity flip, you know what I mean?